Hello, students. I would request you to open your first flight book, Chapter 3. Chapter 3 consists of two stories about flying. Part 1 is His First Flight, written by Liam O'Flaherty, and Part 2, The Black Aeroplane, is written by Frederick Forsyth. Today, we will discuss the first part, His First Flight by Liam O'Flaherty. In this chapter, we will read about a bird, a seagull that you can see in the picture, how he takes his first flight. Means when he flies for the first time, he was very much afraid of this new task, but gradually, he mustered his courage and opened his wings and flies like any other bird. So, let us begin with the story. Yes, this is the story. The young seagull was alone on the ledge. You can see the picture of the bird, a young seagull. It is a seabird and it was sitting all alone on a extended portion of a cliff. In the blue line I have drawn a cliff and its extended portion you can see, and there the bird is sitting all alone. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. He had a family. His brothers and sisters had learned to fly, so they have flown away. But this seagull lacks confidence, so he dares not leave the cliff. He is afraid of flying. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. He sometimes feels encouraged when he watches his siblings flying here and there. He also gathers his courage and tries to run forward, but as soon as he reaches the brink of the edge, you can say the tip of the edge, he loses his confidence and he becomes afraid and he stops trying. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He looks at the vast ocean. He tries to judge the depth of the sea, and this long height makes him afraid to fly, and he does not gather his courage to fly. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. So whole day the bird is trying to fly, but he is afraid. Actually, his problem is lack of confidence. He has no faith in himself. He is sure that his wings would not support him, and they would not allow him to fly. And in this disappointment, he goes back to his hole on the cliff and goes to sleep there quietly. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on the ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. So his parents are always worried about their children. So it is quite natural for the parents to get irritated if the child is not doing any act according to them. If the children are failing in performing something, so they get irritated. So it happens with you also. Like you do not score well in your exams, what do your parents do? They scold you. Similarly, when the seagull is not trying to fly, this thing irritates the parents and they scolds him, they cry at him, they shouts at him, and they try to encourage him to fly, but the poor bird is not able to do that. Parents are using different ways to encourage him. Like shrilly, they are shouting, they are upbraiding, they are threatening the bird, but all these things had no effect on the bird, and the bird, although he tries, but he finds it very hard to do that. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. So, one whole day has passed. After trying in different ways, when parents realize that the child is not listening to them, they gave up. They did not come near him. Nobody came there, neither his parents nor his siblings. And you can guess why? Because yes, it was for his own benefit. Parents are never against their children. Their intention is never bad for their child. Actually, they wanted the bird to fly. So, nobody came there to help him. And the same thing happens with us. We can correlate the things with our life also. And it happens in the life of this bird also. So the parents are trying to encourage the bird in every possible way, but the child is not trying at all. And the child is hungry. He has not eaten anything for the whole day. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. So the parents have given up. And they have stopped trying, and they have left the bird on the cliff, and they went away. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. And from the cliff, what does the seagull see? He watches his parents. They were training his siblings how to fly, how to swim, how to skim, how to dive, and how to catch the food for themselves. A kind of training is going on for his siblings, and he is observing everything from there. He had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it standing on a rock, while his parents circled around, raising a proud cackle. Children, the words appearing in yellow are the meaning of those difficult words that comes before them. So please mark these words in your book also, side by side. So what he is observing from the cliff, that parents are very happy when his elder brother caught his first fish, and parents are praising the child that he has learned the art to catch his food. So they are expressing their joy by making sound of cackling. Parents are feeling proud, and all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. And whole day, because he is the only member left on the cliff, and whole day his family was there in front of his eyes. They were flying, they were eating, they were walking, they are enjoying, and they are taunting him that he is a coward fellow, and they are teasing him in different ways, and actually they all are encouraging him by taunting him in that way. The sun was now ascending, the sky blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. Morning turns into afternoon. The sun shines brightly over the ledge, and the seagull starts feeling some kind of heat. The reason behind is, there are two reasons. One reason, the day is ascending, the sun is getting brighter, and the second reason is that the seagull has not eaten anything for the last 24 hours. Now he is feeling some kind of weakness. He stepped slowly out of the brink of the ledge and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed his one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Sometimes children also do this. They pause that they are angry with their parents. The same way the seagull is also doing this. He feels disappointed. He has no courage to move forward. So he goes back and he pretends. He closes one eye and he stands on one leg. He hides his another leg under his wings and he is pretending that he is sleeping, but actually he is angry with his family and he is trying to make them realize this thing also. So all these things he is doing in that way. Brink here means the edge. Still they took no notice of him. Actually, the bird is doing some kind of drama. He thought that this would affect his parents, but they all are very engrossed in their activity and nobody took any notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. So whatever the siblings wanted to do, they are doing. They are standing on the plateau, they are sleeping, they are enjoying their life and they are not paying any attention to the seagull. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. See, father was also busy in his activities. He is busy with his feathers, but only his mother has her eyes on him. Children, I would like to tell you that mother's love is unconditional. She cannot ignore any of her children. And why she is looking at him? Why the mother is looking at the child? Because the child has not eaten anything for last 24 hours. Although she is pretending that she is angry, but in her heart, she is feeling bad for the child. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again, she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. She comes on a high hump of a plateau. Why she stands on a raised piece of land? She wants that her child, the little seagull who has no courage to fly, should see her what she is doing. And what she is doing actually? She catches a fish, she holds it in her feet and then she scraped her beak. Scraped here means she is sharpening her beak so that she can tear the fish or her food nicely. But actually mother is interested in eating. Do you believe that mother is interested in eating the fish? No, she is not interested in eating the fish. Actually she is trying to create temptation for her child to eat the fish. But here she pretends as if she is enjoying her food. The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. And the temptation of the child when he sees the fish, the food, and he is very hungry. He likes all these things and he also wants to scrap the beak like any other bird, and he is maddened by the hunger. He has not eaten anything for a long time. He is hungry also. So he is maddened by this sight. And let's see what he does. Ga, 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 he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Gokula, she screamed back derisively. And here the child cries. The child produces a sound. And he is begging his mother of food. But mother scolds him. She is angry. She is upset with him. And why she is upset? because the bird is not trying to fly and she scolds him. Gokula. This is the way she scolds the child. But he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. The seagull doesn't move an inch, but he keeps complaining. Plaintively means having a sad quality or complaining about something. So the bird is complaining to his mother that he is hungry and he has not eaten anything for a long time. And after a minute, he screams with joy. What is the reason for being happy now? Let us see. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. The seagull sees that mother is coming towards him with a piece of fish in her beak, and this sight makes him excited. And how does he expresses his happiness, his joy? He comes forward, he flaps his wings eagerly and waiting and making some sound. What he is waiting for? He is waiting for his mother and the food she will bring for him. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. But here the mother comes quite close to the child, but suddenly she stops. The child is waiting for the food, but the mother is waiting for something else. What do you think the mother is waiting for? Yes, the mother is waiting for her child to fly. So children, here I am giving a halt to my story also. Read the chapter till here and imagine what would happen next. Rest of the part I will be discussing in my second video. Thank you.